Hello everybody, this is Albert Diaz from the Financial Road Trip, and I'm here again with Jose Figarela from
Sell with Jose.
I got it out of guard. So last week we talked about credit, and today we're talking about what we're talking about, Jose?
So we talk about dating your credit, and now we're talking about budgeting.
So it was about dating, now you're just getting married. Nah,
That's right.
Budgeting. So
that's a good analogy. Actually, I like it. Yeah. So because you had to date your credit, you got to get to know your credit first, and now you have to make plans. Okay, what am I going to do with all this thing? So
it's all about habits, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Budgeting is all about habits and having a vision.
In the city of Houston, obviously. So I'm sorry.
Yes, exactly. They're looking for Jose. So okay, coming back to you guys. So it's all about habits. You want to visualize your goal. What's your dream? In this case, many dreams are buying your first house, right?
That's
your
right.
second, your dream house.
And how do we do that? So you have to know what you can afford, and if you're going to do that, you need to know your credit is obviously, but then also you have to know how much money are you making, how much your expenses are, and you know how to manage your debt. Because if you have a car payment, if you have kids, all those things are going to play a part of it, especially, you know, with kids too, if they have a special schools or little things, you know, that I don't have any kids, so I don't know, but I'm sure it's more expensive than normal. So.
Yes.
And even if not, if you're single, you like doing certain activities, and you want to make sure that you're going to be able to purchase a property that is going to still allow you to do whatever you want. So regardless of what kind of family status you have, single or married with kids or no kids, you still want to have make sure that you have your financing in order so you can buy a house.
An interesting statistic is that here in the city of Houston, foreclosures has doubled from the past couple of years to last year and to this year. And what Jose likes is for every family that he's helping reach their goals is that they know their budget so that they will never have to go through all that foreclosure process. You don't want to lose your house when you buy it. When you buy a house, you're acquiring your biggest liability. Yes, it's a dream, but then we need to make sure, Jose wants to make sure that you can afford it and you can sustain it, and it's going to be for you forever. Now, one tip that I give many families whenever they are working with me doing financial analysis, I just ask, do you have a budget in place? No. Like, okay, let's do an exercise. Yes, we're going to do it, but I'm not going to use any software. I'm not going to do an Excel sheet. It's paper and pencil. Why? Because when you are writing it, it hurts. Yeah. I promise you, it's real. Now, once that you have it in paper, now you just use any other application. In previous episode, we mentioned Mint, remember? Mm-hmm. So Mint is a great way that you can set up your budget, set up your limits, and you get an alert every time that you are just overspending budget, or you keep track of everything. So if you're not spending more in one thing that it was your budget, maybe $300 for groceries, right, and you spend $200, what are you gonna do with that $100? Save it.
Yeah,
it's a habit. It's a different habit.
I think that is really good. I mean, I think for those strategies is that you can do. I don't know. It's called the snowball effect. You know, the best way you pay your credit cards is like you start paying off whatever is the highest interest rate. Is that correct? Or is
that's correct. Yeah. So obviously, Jose hasn't checked out my episode and my YouTube channel, but that's
perfect. You can go back to. We're gonna put that link in the description, so you can go back to it and revise
You're gonna put
everything interconnects.
Yes,
that's,
exactly.
That's the key part.
So just remember, Snowball is just a strategy that helps you gain momentum to what you're paying, getting out of debt. The best way is to do it paying high interest rate first. However, that approach, sometimes it takes some time, and since you're not seeing any changes, you're not reaching any milestones, you can get demotivated. That's why Snowball is great. So just remember, out of that, just throw a snowball out of it. So Jose, what is one of the major challenges that you see in your customers when they don't have a budget?
I think the biggest thing is unrealistic expectations. You know, I think they will come to me and they'll be like, it's kind of they will show up and be like, I want a 3-car garage, 2 stories, 4 bedrooms, and I have a budget of $100,000. And I'm like, you're not gonna find that in Houston. I mean, maybe 5 years ago, but now it's just non-existent. So I think that's the biggest challenge. People don't know what they can afford, and a lot of the times then they do move to get an approval, and then they start shopping for houses, and because they didn't know already their budget, they are not happy with what they're finding, and they run their credit for nothing because they end up not buying. So the best thing is to know what you can expend. That way you can contact your realtor, and the realtor can show you what's available in the market for that.
For your budget.
For your budget. And then if you're not happy with what's available, then you can work maybe saving more money, or maybe, you know, doing another type of investment. I mean, because sometimes it's not really the right time. So you have to find out when that is, you know. And if your home, if you're not ready for a home, then you need to identify that and set up as your goal and know how to get there. Because if you have a clear goal, you can get there faster than if you just try to swing at it, you know.
Exactly. Because your monthly payments, your mortgage is going to be very high. So if you start planning about it and start saving, and you give a larger down payment, then it's reachable.
That's right.
Now, something else on your budgeting. I see that Jose is mentioning in the past that, hey, you know, be realistic. Don't spend money when you don't have it. That was a comment that you mentioned in previous episode, and that's great. Stop, you know, keeping up with the Joneses.
That's
and
right.
In my case, my experience, me and my wife, when we budgeted for a house. We do all the budgeting considering only one income, just, you know, just mine or just hers, and the other income is just for saving for something else. And that's how we have a few homes right now, just because we are doing everything within our limits of just one income. Because what happens is, if one of the you know, your spouse or you don't have a job for certain months, and you budget buying a house with a combined income, that could hurt.
That's right. And if that is not an option for you, obviously there's all kinds of financial strategies to own a home or to do an investment. So you're not limited to just one type of thing. But it's important that you know your finances, because that's what allow you and your wife to do the you know, progressing to doing different investments or buying different properties, because you have a plan. You have already a budget in mind. So you're also accounting if something goes wrong. And you can do that, the same thing individually. You know, just planning to have funds that will be in a backup, you know. So that's why it's important to kind of get a little more savvy about, like, you know, saving accounts, or maybe, you know, what kind of insurance also can you use. You know, a lot of the times we spend a lot of money in things that we don't really need. So it's important to find out what kind of insurance you have. One of the things that happens a lot is, and this happened to me actually, and I'm a real estate agent, so I didn't care so much about my roof insurance. And whenever I needed to actually use it, I realized that it was a $5,000 deductible. So a lot of the times you're buying a house, you want to get a lower payment, but then you won't have the insurance coverage that you need. So it's important that you keep that in mind as you're doing investments or buying or doing anything. So a lot of the times you can buy a house and you just want to get in there, so you'll get the lowest payment that you can get. But remember to change that in the future and things like that. So
exactly. Just one tip, roofs, they normally get replaced between 13, 14 years.
That's
so
right,
if you're buying a house that is 10 years old and doesn't have a roofing,
just around that time.
Yes, so might be around, you know, might be coming. So get an insurance that will have a lower deductible that will cover that. Right. It's gonna be worth it paying $50 extra.
That's right.
So Jose, any last tip before we leave?
For budgeting, I think what's important to talk to real estate agents about. We have certain tools that we can use to give you a little more accurate information about what it will cost you to own a home. So we can calculate your payment based on your income, your credit card debt or other student debt, child support. We can input all this information in there, calculate by the tax rate, and kind of get a little bit more in detail of what it would be to make the payments on that house, and calculate, you know, or help the consumer calculate what they could expend or what kind of house they could buy. So you know, get in touch with a realtor. Part of the budgeting will be to do that, and get with a financial planner, get with someone that can help you, you know, put these things in motion. So you don't want to just, the worst thing that can happen is you to get isolated and to start feeling that you can't do it, there's too much going on, I'm too busy, I have, you know, kids and my wife or this and that and too much work. You know, this is a 3-minute, 5-minute video that will give you a little bit of information that you need, and a lot of the things that we're talking about are things that don't take very much of your time. You can create an account at Credit Karma, 5 minutes, and then you can just start monitoring for it from that. You can do a Google search about a real estate agent in your area, 5 minutes, you know, and you can start the process little by little. It doesn't have to be all piled up
The average person spends 2 hours a day in social media. You can spend 5 minutes doing something for you. Now, something that Jose just mentioned, talk to your financial consultant. If you don't have one, reach out to us. We're going to find one close to you, one in your city, and he's going to help you out, put you in the right position to get your dream house with Jose.
That's right. And one more thing, because it just came to me when you touch the subject of foreclosure, because it's so sad that I see a lot of people just let their homes go and ruin their credits. That is not always the best route. You can get out of foreclosure. You can do a short sale. There's a lot of different things that you can do to prevent your credit from being damaged and having to pay that debt. So please call an agent. Call someone that can help you. You know, and there's a lot of answers there. Don't think that it's just a one-way street where if you're not paying the mortgage or you're in a financial bind, that you're going to be foreclosed. That's not true. Foreclosure takes a long time. It costs a lot of money for the bank, so they are willing to look at different options, and an agent can help you with that.
Excellent. Thank you, Jose.
Awesome.
It was great information.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And see you next time. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
That's
Albert
right.
Diaz from the Financial Road Trip, and
Jose with Sell with Jose. See ya.
See you later.